What are you in here doing?
Setting up for butchering.
Well, it's kind of butchered, but what did you just go get?
Pig.
The lard hogs, yeah. Hey y'all, and welcome to the Max Life. So yes, this is our prepper's pantry room. You guys have seen tours of this before. I'm just gonna spin around in a circle. This is where, up here, I have several different things. This is my WeVac vacuum seal. I also have a smaller one right here, which is, Amazon actually doesn't even sell this anymore. It's called a Comdo. It's just a little bit smaller. They basically do the same thing. This is a little bit bigger, has a little bit more power. I can do bigger bags than this. So my small one, I like to just be able to grab it. Like, I buy cheese in bulk, and then I cut it into squares. I keep some in the refrigerator so that I can slice and shred, and the rest goes in the freezer until we're ready to use it, because I don't like to put bulk cheese in the refrigerator. We won't be able to use it all. Some of it goes bad. So I leave enough for us to use and then rotate that out. As we finish up using what's in the refrigerator, I pull it out of the freezer. So when I get ready to do that, I really prefer to come in here and grab, this was my older one. I really prefer to grab the smaller one and just run. Now I also have all these different size bags as well that we will vacuum seal, and we can put our meats up in the freezer. All of this stuff, our containers up here, is what you will see us grab this, wash this out, our meat. So we will cut our pieces of meat up. They will go in these buckets. These buckets will then carry them to our grinder. We have our grinder, we have our sausage maker over there. I see that. So our grinder's got to be somewhere over here. Oh yeah, there it is. A piece of it is up over there. And a lot of our other butchering things are up here. Like, here are the knives. We have our bags for when we butcher birds. So this section over here has just kind of become our organizing station for all of our butchering things. So we're going to be coming to get a lot of this stuff out. Now I want to tell you what we do with our American guinea hogs this time and what we normally do. So normally when we take our pigs, so we're not really set up to take our pigs down to halves. We're just not set up for that right now. And to be completely honest with you, our butcher around here is so reasonable. It's worth loading up the pig, taking them to the market, letting them put the pig down, gut the pig, scrape the pig, scald it, scrape it, gut it, and cut it in halves. So we usually go pick up our halves. We usually have a table set up in here, kind of like we do right now. We bring our half pig one at a time. We actually put them all in our cold room, which is right here. Then we will pick up our halves, one half at a time, out of the cold room. It will go in here on the table, and Colby and Aiden will start the first steps of breaking that down. Now, once we get our pork chops, our bacons and stuff like that, we'll start sorting all that stuff out. Our bacons we age, our pork chops we go ahead and seal up in our vacuum seals. We get those dated and labeled, put in the freezers. Our bacon we do something completely different with, and Colby has a whole video on that for anybody who wants to know how to cure out bacon. It is a process, and it does take a couple of weeks. By the time the bacon sits over time and is aged there in a salt and sugar brine that we make, then the bacon is taken to the smokehouse and smoked for a period of time. Then we're able to get it out and package it up for the freezer. But we did something a little bit different this time, just because we don't always do this. But we were really pushed. Usually this is our slower months, but it seems like this year, with so much going on and a lot of the extra hours that Colby has been putting in with work and a lot of stuff going on the farm, this time we decided to take the pigs. We did let them do all of those steps and take all the meat off of the bone for us. Now, we took American guinea hogs. We like them for multiple reasons. They're very easy. They're very laid back and just very docile. Most people would say they're very docile. And we really love them because they put off lard. And I'm going to show you right under you. I actually did not plan this, but this is a container of lard. This is a natural fat source, and it allows us to kick out all of those vegetable and seed oils, all of those highly refined and processed oils that we know are absolutely terrible for our body. So here is the thing, y'all. When you get vegetable oil and you cook with it, and you put your french fries in there, and then you take it up and then you eat it. Here's the thing. When the oil gets into your body and begins to break down, and I'm guilty of it, sometimes we are still forced to eat outside of the home, have to eat some things that are put in hydrogenated and highly refined, processed, all of those oils, which I absolutely despise. We try to limit that, I mean to a very, very small limit, because this is what we know. And this is the science behind the oil, y'all. This is what we found out when we started kicking butter, which I have right here. See, I wasn't planning on doing all this, but it's just so convenient. When we have our own butter, we have things like our own lard. We are providing our own natural fat sources in order to cook our food, prepare our food, and we're not having to use those vegetable oils and seed oils, because here's the thing. They're taken from a natural state. They are put under, y'all, I can't even fully understand what they do with all of that, because it is so much processing that they do to get that vegetable and seed oil. And then we take those oils and we consume them. Now, what scientists have found out is that they actually, once they get into our body and we start trying to digest them, that they actually turn to toxins. So we're actually taking this processed food, putting it in our bodies, which is just poison. We're actually poisoning our bodies. So we know these things, right? And we really try to limit that. So why do we raise our own lard hogs? This is why, y'all. So that I don't have to be dependent on going to the grocery store and buying vegetable oil, which I don't. I have not bought vegetable oil, guys, in probably eight years, maybe 10 years. Ever since we've been, let's see, at least, because we've been raising American guinea hogs since before Jennings was born, and he's 6.5. So at least 8 years, maybe even maybe even 10. So why? This is why. So that if I want to drop round steak in a pan to fry them, if I want to take sweet potatoes, which are also right behind y'all, and I want to wash my sweet potatoes and cut them up and put them in some flour and drop them into some grease, right, to fry, I am not dependent on going to the store and getting those oils for that. Now, I do have coconut oil. It is on the other side. Of course, I can't do coconut oil. I'm still not crazy about the idea of coconut oil, because here's the thing. They have to take the coconuts and they still have to process it to get the coconut oil, okay? I don't love that idea. So this is what I know. I raised this pig. I'm getting meat to put in my freezer. We usually make all sausage because they're not really ideal for bacon. You can get pork chops off of them. However, because we already raise another breed that is ideal for pork chops and bacon, we usually go to that breed for those items. We use our American guinea hogs because they make wonderful sausage. We do patty and link sausage with these, and then we have all of the lard for the fat. So it is truly a win-win for us to raise these, because they can provide so much for our family. Now, here's another thing on some of the other oils. I will use olive oil from time to time. I tend not to try to use my coconut oil for frying and things like that. I actually prefer to use, now I have coconut oil, and it is in the 5-gallon buckets, which is right here. No, that's apple cider vinegar. Actually, this is it, right here. So this right here that you see is coconut oil in a 5-gallon bucket that I buy from Azure. And the main reason I buy that is because all of my soap, making materials. The base oil for your soap is olive oil and coconut oil. If you guys have not seen my soap making video, please go check that out. It's absolutely wonderful video. It's literally step by step, and I'm giving you guys my soap making recipe. Do not be afraid of light. It's not that big of a deal. Don't want to get into soap. I'm just telling you guys, I already have a soap making video out there. Don't be afraid of it. I literally break it down for you step by step and tell you how you can make your own soap so that you know exactly what you're putting on your skin. But so I tend to use this more for, we will use it like on our cows during the winter when their udders need a soothing balm, lotion bases, which I don't use. I have to use a lot of lotion anymore because I have stopped using the store-bought soap that strips all over my natural oils off. Chapstick, diaper rash cream, sunscreen, any kind of salve. Okay, all of your base, all of that is coconut oil. So that's one of the reasons why I have coconut oil. From time to time, I will use a lighter tasting oil, like if I want to make sourdough pancakes. Sometimes I will smear the bottom with coconut oil so that I don't have as much of a lardy or a bacony flavor with something light like pancakes. So that is that. Olive oil, I really try not to fry in olive oil because of the chemical structure of the oil. When it is brought to a heat, it actually turns into a toxin as well, which a lot of people I don't think know that. So I try to go to my natural sources, y'all. I know this pig, I raised it, I know what it was fed, I know how it was broke down. I literally took the lard from, okay, that is all meat, y'all. Here we go. Here's a container of lard right here. I literally took the lard right off the pig. It goes right into a huge crock pot that melts down just a little. I bring the heat up enough to start melting the fat. Then I get my sterilized jars, strain it over into those jars. I have a whole video on how to render down lard. If you can find lard at your butcher, anywhere like that, you might can touch base with your local butcher shops and say, hey, if you have any lard that comes through, we would like to buy that from y'all. Put it in your jars, which I'm going to show you my whole shelf of lard in just a minute. Again, very easy to do. I'm putting a natural fat into a shelf-stable jar that can literally sit there, not dependent on electricity, and it's a natural fat that I know exactly where it come from. And here's the most beautiful thing. I know that when I eat it, it's not gonna turn into a toxin in my body, which is the key behind all of this, in my opinion. So now that you guys have seen my whole shelf of lard, that is some of it. I have several other jars in the kitchen for easy access so that I can just turn around and grab the jar and start cooking. So I wanted to show y'all, this is a little bit different from us. Like I told you, we typically do not do this, but because of time and the things going on the farm, we decided not to bring the half hogs home this time and try to get all of the cuttings and the bones and the lard cut off. And we just kind of skipped that step and said this time we just need to pay somebody else to do it because it's worth the money versus the things that are at home that require us to be here and do that. So here is one box. All of this is meat. We will mix some of the lard in with the sausage to give it somewhat of a fat content. The majority of this looks like lard, so I have a whole box right here as well. This is a whole nother section of meat. It looks like a couple of pieces of lard might have been put in those bags, and then again a whole nother section of lard. So you can see that tonight we're gonna have our hands really full with opening all this up, running it through our grinder. To be completely honest with you, we really need a bigger grinder. We just have not invested. We have a small one. It's what we've used for years. Before we do our next 5, which is our Hampshire Yorkshire cross, we will be investing in a bigger grinder. But for now, we're just gonna make do with what we have. This will take us probably from the time Colby gets off work, moves the cows, does the hay, does a couple of waters. Once he finishes those, and I will be in here starting to set up some stuff, and he comes in and we can kind of get started on those things. And it's going to take us into tomorrow before we're completely done running it all through, getting it all packaged, getting the seasoning all mixed in, and all of that fun stuff. But it is well worth the work. I have told you guys many, many times. Farming is easy at times and hard at times. It's fun at times, and sometimes it's not. It's joyous at times, and then like a couple of weeks ago when y'all saw us lose one of our steers just out of the blue, all of our other cows have been completely fine. It's not so joyous. So, you know, there are ups and downs, but it is always worth it knowing where our food comes from and what we're putting in our body. That is nothing more than just taking our own health and putting it back in our hands. And that is what this homestead, what farming, everything that we do has always been about. So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in on this video. We always appreciate you guys for watching. We try to show you what we do, the goods and the bads, teach you along the way, show you family life, show you farm life, and really everything in between. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, y'all, please hit that subscribe button, and also leave us a comment. The thumbs up, the comments, all of that really does mean a lot to us, and we appreciate you guys more than you know. God bless and happy homesteading, y'all.